us about the tournament going on today.
Well, this is a very exciting tournament that's taking place. It usually takes place around this time of the year. It's called our Carnival Tournament. And usually we invite teams and players from all over the world, and mostly from Nigeria. And then, of course, you have players from all over Argentina, South Africa, the United Kingdom, and other countries. But this year, because of an epidemic that we had, which is the African horse sickness, we had to restrict movement of horses, and therefore we do not allow any visiting ponies. As such, we came up with this tournament, which is an in-house tournament. But it's very interesting and heartwarming to see that, we were able to raise about 28 teams in-house. That's quite a massive number, and it's a number, and you can see that the standard of play is quite commendable. And in spite of that, we have a lot of other foreign players that have come to grace this, very important occasion. And you can see so far the tournament has been, going on very well. And the turnout has been excellent. We've got a lot of people coming in, and we believe that the tournaments can only get better.
Well, we've been hosting this tournament. This is the 16th edition. During that, if you can remember, they used to host a carnival event in Abuja. But during that time, that was when we introduced polo into it. Apparently, we don't know what happened the carnival does not exist anymore in Abuja, so we now maintain that culture and traditional game during the carnival.
And it's always been growing from strength to strength. It's really designed to celebrate the carnival atmosphere of Nigeria, our creativity and our entrepreneurship in the country.
How many teams that turned up for this year's tournament?
Well, as you know, polo is a unique game in which you see there are different categories of trophies. We last week we played the President's Cup, which is the highest handicap trophy, and then we played the Low Cup, which is actually a new cup that we introduced, and then we have the Beginners Cup, which we actually call it the Gas Challenge. So this week we played the FCT, like I said, and the FCT Ministers' Cup and the Legislative Shield. So all in all, we have 28 teams which are actually competing for these five trophies.
Is it dangerous? Because every game, every sport has its, hazards.
Well, I've been told that it's the second most dangerous sport after motorsports because, well, you're not really just like on a vehicle where you're controlling. It's a horse. It has a mind of its own, and it's a 15-ton animal. Like it's not easy. It could fall on you. You could trip. A lot of things could happen, and you're going 30, 35 miles an hour. Anything can happen. That's why it's really important to start with riding and making sure that you know how to ride properly. And just make sure the horse has kind of become an extension of your legs, because riding is everything. You have to know how to connect with the horse first. Polo is one of many equestrian sports, but the key thing is just making sure you know how to ride properly.
In every sport you have what I will call occupational hazards. And polo has its own, but because of the heavy rules in all the games, the football has its rules. The polo has every game, even golf that you see, what looks like a lazy man's game. It has its rules. So the rules of the polo is very, very strict.
For a lot of people that play golf, say golf gets them to be disciplined, to keep to time, to not to cheat. So you've mentioned the rules. So what are some of that has to do with character?
When I mention golf, because people see golf as a lazy man's game, but it is not. My friend here, General, just finished telling me that no, if you play an 18-hole game, you'll be exhausted, and not many people finish 18 holes. So you start with 4 holes, 6, but 18. So it's not a lazy man. So why I mentioned it is because this is a game which is highly disciplined. You cannot cheat, because in golf, if you cheat yourself. Because you are the only one around. Maybe there are cameras spying on you, but you don't really cheat. The case of polo is there are two umpires because of the intensity of the game, because of the fastness of the game. You have two umpires. We call them umpires, not referees. So there are two. So again, to be diligent and make sure that you don't cheat.
So how do you encourage a lot of women? Because but I don't know if there are a lot of women in polo, and then also younger generation.
Well, seriously, this started after the pandemic, the COVID, when there was a lockdown, no movement. So that was when the ladies that we have two ladies back then. Then they now inspired their friends, their relatives, which they introduced them to the game, and then all of a sudden we now started seeing ladies into the game, and they're doing good.
We have a lot more female teams coming up. So if you came into the first week, you will have seen people like Shukriya playing. You see people like Hadiza. These are people that are coming through, and they are inspiring other younger ladies to come in and compete as well.
My first tournament was about 3 years ago. I own a media service company called Polo Magazine and a few other businesses on the side. Yes, but the main thing is polo, which I hope to play professionally one day.
You are very young, and we have a lot of young people who are out there watching. I mean, in Nigeria, basically football is maybe the most popular game. What is that thing you will tell that young person watching to encourage them to switch to maybe polo?
Well, I think football and other sports, like you mentioned, are very ordinary sports.
Really?
Yes, compared to polo, people are yet to experience the greatest sport ever. Polo is the best sport ever. I don't think the feeling compares to anything. I've felt a lot of things in my life. I've been happy so many times. I've achieved a lot of milestones. But I don't think there's anything compared to that final whistle when you win the game. So I want to, motivate every young kid out there who wants to be like us. That 5 years ago, I was like you. I was watching from the sidelines. I was hoping that I would get just 2 checkers on the main pitch. And here I am today. I didn't give up. So don't give up too.
The very first thing is, once you come around horses, you can tell the connection that you instantly have with these animals. Like, they're gentle giants. They make the world a better place, in my opinion, honestly. So starting it, just go ahead and start. No matter what gender you are, no matter what age you are, start and be consistent.
In any club in Nigeria, anytime you go, every year you see younger ones coming up. This like naturally, it's like a tradition in a game of polo, where you see younger ones coming up, because it's like an inspired game. For example, my son now is 7, but he has started riding.
A lot of us are footballers in Nigeria. We love football, but we see polo as an elitist kind of sport. But is it a game that you encourage Nigerians, like even the ordinary ones, to just join, maybe because of what it teaches?
Polo is an exciting sport, and it has always been exciting in many parts of the country. But it has spread around the country now, hopefully. You can see everybody here, people from all tongues and tribes and parts of the country, they are here to witness this final. This is a carnival polo. It has come to stay in Nigeria. It's no longer an elitist sport, really, because, people provide their horses. All you need to do is to know how to ride the horses, know how to play the game. The horses are always available. You don't have to buy your own horses to play the game.
There are people who have many horses. They are looking for better players. And I can tell you, the game of polo is a game where, in a platform where both the downtrodden, the middle and the top are all engaged and working on the same platform, they are all at the same level. Even the people that are playing today, the president's son is playing, for example, the MD of Maxi is playing, but there are also people playing with them on the same pitch who, because they are just good playing polo, they're from the down ladder of the society, but they're playing with them on the same pitch. Only polo can give you that kind of opportunities if you are good enough to do that.
I think polo is the only platform that will bring the kings and the paupers, so to speak, in the olden days together. So now what you have is you have the high and mighty that can afford to put the horses, but then they need also every other person that has the determination to succeed, the work ethic and the passion.
Today's polo has been structured so much that you can play without having a horse, because the very herbs can mount you. And if you are a good player, clubs will be competing to mount you. So, but in the past, yes, it is a game that you must have at least 2 horses, minimum of 2 horses, a maximum of God knows how many. But today, no, it's not. It is structured in such a way you can be mounted. And you can be a professional where you will be even paid to play.
I think most of the players that played today, almost six players out of both teams, were very from ordinary backgrounds. There are people that worked hard to come where they are, because I can still remember people like Ashraf, people like Dantella. I can still remember 5 years ago they were only beginners, and I don't think they had any financial capacity to play it, but here they are today, playing on the biggest stage of the game. So I think that's not the most correct statement about the game. I think everyone that wants to take part should find a way to be a stakeholder, and you don't know what tomorrow may hold. You might just be on the pitch like us.
With the polo club here, for you to start, you need a few things. You need equipment, first of all. You need a horse. The more higher playing ponies, which are called the Argentine breed, go from 15 million upwards. And then for equipment, you have, for a whole kit, usually what they would charge, like for a helmet, boots and everything, mallet, just a starter kit, maybe you would spend about $2,000.
Polo is quite expensive. Yes, it is. But, there are certain events, certain activities that are even more expensive than polo. So basically, all I can say is the heart. When you have love for the game, you don't feel when you spend. It's quite expensive. For you to be a member, you need to come, fill a form, then you'll be issued membership.
You just came to support your friend, or there's something that maybe you want to retire with this game?
So this is my first time watching polo, so for me I feel very happy. It's a very nice experience for me, and I think I will come more often. Inshallah, maybe after football I can join polo.
Is there monetary value in sponsoring this game, or just for corporate social responsibility?
Yeah, it's more of a CSR, and also because of my passion. So I get the company, I actually force them that they have to. And so it's like a norm now. Whenever there's a polo elsewhere, then I'll go ahead, and do it.
I've been playing polo for almost 16 years. For almost 16 years, yeah. So
how old were you when you started playing?
I was about 13.
It's not easy getting into this club now as a member. As supposed to before now, back then when you only need to fill a form and just pay the money. There was no interview or anything like that. But now we have so many players, we have a long wait list for people that want to come in and start playing polo.
In the terms of future of polo, I believe that the future is bright. I mean, you would see that you are all witnesses to the huge crowd that we're able to pull, much more than we have ever done in the past. And we have a lot of young ones, in the club that have come to become members, and we have a special program for them so as to engage them and catch them young, give them the right training so that they can be as good as anywhere in the world.